Oh yeah, this is the truth behind the beef with Somaya Reese and Joe Budden, or Joe Budden and Somaya Reese, whichever way you want to word it. Um, Somaya Reese, and that was, you go in this business, you gonna meet people that try to take advantage of you or use you or do. That's normal, but she's somebody I met through MySpace. That's taking a lot of you guys way back. This is like over 10 years ago. A lot of you guys don't even remember her. Like, now she's an entirely different person than where she was then. Now everybody know her just off some one of those random love and hip hop type shows. But before all that stuff happened, she was on MySpace. She made her career there. And me, I was on MySpace. And I saw her on MySpace. I forgot who brought me to her attention or what she had, or they were promoting some video or something. She had like a music page and all this stuff with her songs, and she's singing and doing her stuff. And I'm like, okay, she's cute. She got big boobs. She's doing all this, and she saw some of my photos when I had left a comment to the. She was like, "Let me know what you think of the song," and I was just like, "It's all right." The other song you had was much better than this one. I thought that one was a lot better because of the tempo. When we talked music wise, and she was like excited about it, and she looked at my photos on my Facebook page and saw that I was with like Don King, um, Floyd Mayweather. Start seeing all these people. So she right away was like, went to see like how many people's following this guy. It's like, well, he got quite a many followers. He don't have like she was way above me as far as people following her. So we started to conversate and we ran into each other. And I was like, well, I'm gonna be at the fight down there. So, and here's the thing: she saw I was with people from the Flavor of Love show. And this is what I should have known from then. When she saw that I was with the Flavor of Love cast, and you know Hottie from Flavor of Love, once she saw that photograph with me and her, with Hottie and all of them, and like, oh my gosh, now she's gotta get close to me, and she's responding back on Facebook, and her team and all of that was like, yeah, well, Somaya is doing this. So when you come to Vegas, touchdown. So I'm in Vegas. I meet some of the people that she knew, her team or whatever, and we met Somaya. It was great, as far as saying, hey, how you doing, and seeing where they were wanting to go. But right away, I could tell she was very ambitious, but she's star driven. Like anybody who comes in the room or somebody who comes in who might be, ooh, who's he? What's he done? What'd he do? This and that. Like she would turn away. She's like a dog chasing cars. And that's how her team was just sporadic. And I don't really know them that well, but I can tell they can't take her to where she needs to go. I could tell right away. The team that she was with, those people didn't have a clue. They were looking for me to see what I can get out of them, and try to use the fact like, hey, I know she looks cute. Don't you want to like just drool over her for a while and see what they can get out of me? So that was the whole instance there. And don't worry, we're gonna work this into Joe for those who were wondering. So with me, she met all of the guys who was. I'm not gonna say this person's name. But this person was brought in because I think there was a lawsuit involved. So I'm not even bringing that person's name into it. But this person came in, took a look at the situation, tried to help out, and said, "Well, she can't say." It's like she cannot sing, and she was like, I can rap too, because she saw that I hung out with Suge and some people there, and back then, Crooked Eye and all those guys was hanging out with Big Suge and around him, and all these other LA rappers. They was all out in Vegas, and they went back towards LA, and she was like telling me, I was in a movie with Michael Jackson. And yeah, I was in a movie with Michael Jackson. I've done this. And she was saying that to everybody she meets. It was like a program script. And when she saw that I was doing that, she was like, so I can do like a flavor of love. And she was gonna be on Charm School, like they had on the VH1, which was like a spinoff show. And I was working with them because they were doing Charm School during that time. And she was would have been on there, but she jumped too quick. You know, she jumped from one side and knew the person that I knew who told me basically she can't sing, she need background singers and all of this stuff, and I could sell her off her tits alone, but you know, she would need this and she would need that, and I would want to cut this person out and that person out that's in a group. So when this was going on, she mostly started getting closer to them and started cutting me out. And I was cool with that because I already knew what the deal was gonna be. Pretty much the way she was. She was like a dog chasing cars. I brought that up to lead you to this point. Now she's hanging out with a whole different group of people. She's thinking she could rap now. She's doing all this other stuff, and you could tell a lot of stuff about her is artificial. It's not really real. She just wants to get to the next thing. But now she's meeting people. You know, people are like, oh, this is Somaya. You know, so now she went from MySpace to actually getting into places. Because even though MySpace at that time was like Instagram, they were getting all these hits, but it wasn't adding up to a lot of money. So she started to do her little videos on there, and they was making a little buzz because it was getting all these hits. But once we started making introductions in the game, that's when things started to change for her, and she started to go off. So naturally, you know how they do. They don't have time for you no more, or they get distant. And I'm not the type that's gonna call people, hey, where you at? What's going on? Why ain't nobody doing this? The person that was with her at that time, something ended up happening to them, and they split. And then I like because there's a lawsuit or was a lawsuit, I don't know how the case was resolved. That name will not be mentioned. But because of that, her and Crooked Eye like real tight. She been hanging out with Crooked Eye a lot, and she thinks she's swagged out and this and that. And this is years later down the road because I'm not in the picture no more. I'm way out of it. So at this point, she is they're in LA, and they came out with the group Slaughterhouse, and they brought in Joe Budden in the group. So Crooked Eye introduced her to Joe. It was like, this is my man's Joe and this and that. And so when her and Joe met up and they did like some Ustream together live, and everybody bit into it. Oh, they together and this and that. Like I told you, Joe was one of the first rappers on internet talking directly to fans. He was one of the first to really kick that off and get that off the ground. So after this was done, this whole internet and we're doing this and that's just it, and that whole process was going around. People thought they were in a couple. Joe would go out and do an interview. They would ask him on Angie Martinez, Hot 97, everywhere he was, and he would go, no, I'm not with her. We are friends. That's it. So that's all he would say. But the situation happened because they went out to a club, they got drunk, and they were ready to, take it to the next level. But they actually was about to get down. She was gonna get down with Joe because Joe was helping her with her career. So Joe couldn't get it up. So because of that, that was one of the biggest jokes out there. Joe Budden couldn't get it up. He needs some help. So so nothing ended up happening because Joe couldn't get it up. So when that happened, it was the funniest thing around the word around town. People was laughing at Joe Budden around the industry, like Joe can't even get it up. So once this happened, it went around because I guess she told everybody Joe was a little salty. But he talking about some, oh, I love you, it's cool. I just had too much to drink and blah 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 blah. Whiskey stick, and all that. So anyway, after this, she ended up doing something with Gloria Velez. Her and Gloria did some project together, and he was like, "Whoa, now you doing stuff with Gloria?" And him and Gloria didn't end on good terms. And now she's over there with Gloria Velez doing the project. And before she could even talk to Joe, he blocked her on Twitter. He blocked her on all social media things that he did. She tried to text him, and he, after that, like trying to explain what happened, and she blocked that. Joe did his thing. So, he went up there, cussing her out, made a video that went viral, calling her every name in the book, and just on a rant. So she tried to be nice, and then for years, like they didn't even speak. And she went out and told the world. She told the person star of anybody, star, about what happened. So Joe came out and said, "I would never slept with this woman," and this and that. And Joe just really didn't want to go and entertain it anymore because it was embarrassing for him. She was like, "Call Cialis and get some pills." And she looked in the camera and told Joe, "Tell me I'm lying." That was the hardest thing he probably ever had to deal with, was that. And to this day, he still won't talk to Somaya Reese. So that's how that went down. But now you know how they met and everything else. And now she's a lesbo on one of those love and hip hop things that they got on reality TV. Hey, it's bizarro, but it don't surprise me. She's a dog chasing cars. Whatever is popping, whatever's famous, she's gonna do it. So I'm out.